Hey everyone, it's me Kiona back with another video, and if you can't tell by the title, I'm going to show you how I like to do my eyebrows and the technique that I use. So yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below just to show me that you've been watching my videos and that you're here. Just show your girl some support because it is greatly appreciated. Okay, so the first thing I do before I start my brows, I make sure that my brows are cleaned up. So usually I get them waxed, but in between waxes I usually just take like a little eyebrow shaver and some tweezers, and then I just kind of clean up underneath my brow on the top, just make sure that they have a nice arch or they're cleaned up, there's no like sparse hairs anywhere. Because so once they're cleaned up, I usually take a brow gel, and this one that I'm using is by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Ebony. I just use this brow gel to brush up my eyebrow hairs. I don't really use it for the color. I just use it to make sure that all my hairs are going in the same direction. But since this is a darker color than I usually use, if I do like too many brush strokes, the color will come off. And since this is the color Ebony, it's a little darker than I like. I usually go for the color chocolate when I use Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow products. But yeah, all you need is a brow gel and brush them up. You see how they kind of already look darker? But okay, so after I brush them up with the brow gel, I go in with this eyebrow pencil, color Mocha by Morphe, and I just outline my eyebrow shape. I don't go over, under, like I just kind of draw on what's already there. So like this, I'll show you. And what I'm doing is I'm lightly drawing a line underneath my eyebrow. And at the ends here, my natural eyebrow is a little sparse. There's less hair on the end of my eyebrow, so I really go in and I draw lines just to make my eyebrows connect and look longer than they are. So I just take it right here and I just draw down, and then I go on top and I do the same thing. When you do the top portion of your eyebrow, don't start at the very don't start at this area. Start a little bit like right here, because if you start right here, you get a really harsh line. And even though I'm going to brush that out at the end, I don't want to have to brush it out too much. So I just start right here and I just draw a line on top of my eyebrow. Very lightly too. And that's basically all I do to make the shape. And then I go on to the next one. It just broke. Screw that back up, not too much. Okay, so now once I have my shape and they are drawn on, what I like to do is I take a spoolie. I have this one that's in a brush form. It's like the angled brush at one end, and then the other end is the spoolie. If you have two separate brushes, one that's just an angled, flat angled, and then one is a spoolie. That's perfectly fine, but this one is a little bit more easier to control. So just take a spoolie, girl, either from your eyebrow pencil or an actual brush, and just brush out the end, the corner, the ends, I don't know. Just brush out like the front part of your eyebrow. Not too hard to where like you're ripping your skin, but just enough to brush the product through your eyebrow. So I just go right here and I just brush like this. Brush up, brush, you know, just brush it through. It's good to brush up in the direction that your hair is growing. And then here, I really focus on like the beginning of the brow, because I want my brows to look natural but still defined. And the way I get them to look like that is by doing this. I brush the product through the top of my brow, not the top, but like the front of my brow. I brush it through, comb up and over the way that they're going. Okay, so right now I think my brows look good, they look natural, and then once I clean them up with the concealer, they'll have that defined look. So when it comes to cleaning up my brows, I usually use a concealer that is my same skin color. I don't like to use concealer that are too light of in color, because then it gives you a halo brow. And if you don't know what a halo brow is, it's basically, I'm pretty sure you guys seen those pictures of the girls with the super defined, crisp eyebrows, and like underneath it's like white or like a really like light color, and it just looks crazy, and then they put it on top and at the bottom here. Like, that is an halo brow, and that is not cute. Stop doing that, okay? What you need is a concealer that is your same skin tone color. If you could use the same concealer that you use to like put on your face, like under your eye, or to color correct. If you do that, use that same color to carve out your brows. So I use MAC NC45, and this like looks like that. It's not super light, it's the same color as me. So if I just wanted to do my brows with no foundation, like, I could do my brows and get away with it. I won't look crazy because my eyebrows don't match my face. Like, if you use a concealer that's your same skin color, you can get away with just having your brows done. So that's what I do. Yes, and just start from here and then slowly draw a line underneath, and yeah. So here we go. Keep the brush underneath your eyebrow. If you accidentally touch your eyebrow hairs, you're gonna take away some of the product, and you're gonna like take away from the shape. So try to stay underneath your brow. You could go like a little bit lower and then kind of just like pull the product up until you get to like very close to the eyebrow hairs. So just keep drawing that line and pull the product down too. I know some people like to go above and clean up their brow, but me, since I like my brows to look natural, I don't do that anymore, because for one, it kind of gives you that halo look, and two, it's just not as natural. And plus, today I have my foundation done before my brows, so I don't want to mess up, you know, what I got going on already. And I just think it gives a more natural look when you just do underneath. I mean, if you mess up a lot and you need to clean up, make sure you use your foundation. You could also use your foundation to clean up under and above your brows too. But so yeah, just go in and see. So my brows are basically done now. This is how I like them to look. They still look nice, natural, and defined. And this is usually how I do my brows. If I'm feeling real like extra, I'll go in. I'll blend this in with my finger because it's my same skin color, concealer color. So, you know, it's real easy to like blend that in. Versus if I use like a super light color, I wouldn't be able to do this because, you know, it wouldn't match anymore. If I'm really feeling extra, I'll take my liquid eyeliner with a felt tip and I'll like draw some brow strokes just so that way it has that nice feathered look. Like so. So yeah, this is pretty much the final look. This is how I do my brows. The way I do my brows always change. Sometimes I come up with new techniques or I'll, you know, use a different product, but for the most part, this is how I do them. So hopefully this was helpful for you and you learned something. I mean, that's the main goal on my channel, is to show you something new. Make sure you learned a little something on the way. Yes, hopefully you learned something